Here's the race preview. Race, Michigan International Speedway, the fastest track in NASCAR, 2-mile D-shaped oval. Speeds up to 200 miles an hour into turn one. Actually, more like 215, 220. But the average lap of the pole sitter, Denny Hamlin, was 202.794 miles per hour. Woo, that's fast. Man, it should be an interesting race. Got some news. I'll make a separate video on it tomorrow going into more detail and giving my thoughts on it. But there are rumors that Kurt Busch will leave Stewart-Haas Racing after this year and will fill in the number one car, the second car for Chip Ganassi Racing. And that means Jamie McMurray, who his contract was already up this year, but he will be a free agent next year, and Kurt Busch will be filling in that ride. So that's some news I've read. I'm not sure if it's true there, but there are some strong rumors that it's happening. Kurt's denied everything. He said, I haven't signed anything, blah, blah, blah. So no one's actually admitted it, but there are rumors out there, so I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But for now, the race preview. I'm going to do my normal favorites, surprises, disappointments, and then give my race pick. Start off with the favorites. Obviously, the big three. They qualified very well this weekend. Hamlin is the pole sitter this weekend. He was the pole sitter last week. He finished 13th. Only led a couple laps. He was clearly not as good as Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. He was really just holding him up those first two laps that he led, or first lap or whatever. But Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Truex. Kyle Busch qualified second straight week of Hamlin starting 1-2. Maybe that's another Chase Elliott win. That'd be nice, wouldn't it be? You'll figure out if I pick Chase Elliott or not near the end of this video when I make my race pick. Harvick starting third and Truex seventh. So the big three, they've been dominating this year. They have a combined 16 wins. That's insane. There's only been 8 winners this year, I think, 8 or 9 winners. So, man, they've really just been giving it to everyone. They've been dominating this thing. I think there's been 22 races, 23. This is the 23rd race of the season, I think. And, yeah, there's only been 16 races that they won. Only. I say only as it's nothing. But there's 2 other favorites that I threw in there. Kyle Larson, who's won the last 3 full races at Michigan. Remember, the one earlier this year that was won by Boyer, rain shortened, so that was not a full-length 200-lap, 400-mile race. But Larson's won the last 3 full races there, 400 miles. So, yeah, Larson, you got to watch out for him. This is his type of racetrack. He does really good here. He got his first career win here. He's won at all 3 of these shaped racetracks last year. Auto Club and then both Michigan, so that's all 3 of them. So, yeah, you got to watch out for him. And then I also threw in Eric Jones. Eric Jones had a really good performance here last year. Finished 3rd, I think. And then he's shown speed this weekend. He qualified 4th. So I'd say he's a favorite to be up there near the end to be competing for a win. So those are my favorites for the win. Truex, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Kyle Larson. Those are my 5 guys that I think have the best shots at winning, even though Larson qualified 17th, so he had a poor qualification, but we've seen him sneak out of nowhere to win this thing in the race last year. Surprises. I was really surprised about qualifying. The RCR cars, they haven't had much speed this year. They qualified 5th and 6th. So they are in my hello light. Surprises. Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman. Austin Dillon, he's done good here in the past. He's had some laps, so I think he's got a good shot at top 10 this weekend. They've shown some speed in that car. Same with Ryan Newman. They've showed speed. They've run up front recently, which is really good for them. But yeah, I like those 2 to be in contention for a top 10 finish. And then Alex Bowman is starting 10th. I like him for a top 10, maybe even a top 5. He's shown glances of, because when he subbed for Dale Jr., I remember they had a really good car that weekend, but I think they had a mechanical failure early in the race, which they really didn't see the potential of that car. It's really disappointing. He didn't finish that great in the spring, but then again, that was a rain-shortened race, so you can't look at everything. But I think Alex Bowman, the 88's run well in there in the past with that win from Junior in 2012, and then Junior's run well there recently up until his retirement. He got a concussion there. That was disappointing. But another one, Chase Elliott, last week's winner. He's got an average finish of 4.3 there. All 5 races, second, 8th, ninth. So that's a pretty good finishing there, if I would say. So Chase Elliott, even though he had a poor qualifying session of 21st, very sad. Looking for back-to-back wins. That's what he did in the Xfinity Series. He won his first career race at Texas and then won the next week at Darlington. So if he does that in the Cup Series, he'd be one of few to ever do it, but it'd be quite impressive. But, yeah, Elliott qualified 21st. I expect him to finish in the top 10. If he maybe even contend for a win if Gustafson's feeling aggressive from the pit box going for the playoff points that they now need, that they're locked in the playoffs. Woohoo. You know, disappointments. I only got one. Jimmie Johnson. He's qualified 19th. He's been having a rough year. He had a rough week last week at Watkins Glen. You know, Michigan is not his greatest track. Just look at the history. He's lost in some pretty bizarre ways. He ended up winning in 2014, but man, Michigan's not his track, and his qualifying did not do well. He didn't run well in the spring. So Jimmie Johnson, I just don't think he's going to have a great weekend. I think he's going to get this one over with, go to Bristol, where he's run pretty well. He ran well in the spring in Bristol, but we'll talk about that next week when that race gets here. Now on to my race pick. It's a bit of a surprising one. I was kind of thinking because on my fantasy lineup, I picked Larson to win. And, you know, that's a safe bet, Big 3 or Larson at Michigan. And I was like, you know, there was this time, this guy named JB, he's got a nice YouTube channel. He picked Eric Jones to win Daytona. And at the time, I was like, that guy's crazy. And then Eric Jones won at Daytona. So I was like, I need to make a risky pick like that every once in a while. So that came along with also that I just have this feeling. I have a feeling there's going to be a less than 10 to go caution, and it's going to be like after a 30-lap green flag run, and that people are just going to be like, why not stay out or take 2 tires or something? And I just feel like there's going to be a weird strategy call. It's going to end up being really weird. And this guy, he's starting 12th. He's in the rumor I talked about earlier. And, you know, I just think he's going to run 10th to 12th all day, end up restarting first and winning with like 6 to go. Kurt Busch, I just have this feeling. I have a really weird feeling that it's going to come down to a late race restart with a strategy call, and Kurt Busch is going to get his first one of the year. Call me crazy. Call me stupid for not doing my fantasy live pick and putting it here, Larson. Whatever. I mean, I really just have this weird... It's a really weird feeling. If it's right, then cool. If it's wrong, then cool. But I just think Kurt Busch, late strategy call, late caution is going to happen. I think Kurt Busch gets his first one of the year, locks himself in the playoffs after all these rumors surrounding him this weekend. So people can, if he wins and if he has to go to the media center, they're going to be asking him a bunch of questions about his future, and he's going to have to deny them all. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Race preview. I'll talk more about the Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray contract thing tomorrow. Live stream, I'm looking at Monday, maybe early afternoon, maybe late morning, something like that. I'll post on Twitter when it's happening, and I'll probably say in Sunday's race recap when it's happening, just to make sure you guys know. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Subscribe to the channels that I put here or somewhere around here. And if that doesn't work, then they're in the description. Thanks for watching.